fiber. You'll see this all the time where, well, if you increase your fiber, you're going to decrease your risk of cancer. Now they're lumping in all the different types of fiber with vegetable fiber. What about all these new synthetic fibers that they're coming out with? They're called functional fibers, like resistant maltodextrin, like tapioca fiber, like corn fiber. These are all very new fibers that have not stood the time of safety studies. We don't really know about them. They may not affect your blood sugars, but I found some interesting data I want to share with you. So adding highly refined fiber to processed foods could have some negative effects on your health, such as promoting liver cancer, according to a new study. Researchers at Georgia State University and the University of Toledo. Future studies will certainly be needed to disentangle the harmful from the beneficial aspects of gut fermentation. In fact, they found a significant amount of these mice in the study developed liver cancer. Now, you might say, well, wait a second, mice are different than humans, but there's really been no safety studies on humans. So to start putting all these functional fibers in a lot of the foods that you eat right now, including a lot of the so-called keto-friendly bars and snacks, etc., I think is very premature. So yes, they might not have an effect on your blood sugar, but what kind of effect do they have on your gut microbiome? There's some conflicting information that says that antioxidant supplements actually cause cancer, right? Now, wait a second. I thought that antioxidants prevented cancer. Well, what you might not know is the studies that they're basing this on involve using synthetic antioxidants, not the antioxidants that you would get from food. Let's, for example, take beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is a carotenoid. It's a fat-soluble antioxidant, and it has a lot of great benefits. But apparently it's being put in our foods. It's being put in infant formula as vitamin A. It's being used to color farm-raised salmon to give it that pink color, because if you didn't, it would be gray. It's also been used in commercial eggs to color the egg yolks to make them look really good, because if they didn't, you wouldn't have the color. Well, you might say, well, it's just a beta-carotene, it's just an antioxidant. It's not going to cause any issue. But if you've done the deep dive into how they make beta-carotene synthetically, wow, they had all sorts of chemicals. It's made from acetone, using different solvents like hexane, all to make this coloring agent, right? So there's a really big difference between a synthetic something and a natural. It's not the same thing. Melatonin definitely decreases your risk of getting cancer. Now, melatonin is a sleep hormone, but it also has another function in all of your cells, and it can act as an antioxidant. And the way that you increase melatonin is to be exposed to infrared light. So when you're out in the sun, you get a tremendous amount of infrared that actually can penetrate your clothes, and it goes right into your body, at least 2 inches. And all this infrared can recharge and increase melatonin, which is a very powerful antioxidant. Now, this might be confusing to you because you've been taught to stay out of the sun because the sun is bad and it will increase your risk of getting a cancer. Well, this is another topic that's completely distorted, and there's a lot of misinformation. So let me just clarify that. When you're out in the sun, okay, you have UV light, okay? And it's the UVB type of light that will help you increase vitamin D. And vitamin D is another thing that can greatly decrease your risk of getting cancer. But on top of that, the UV light stimulates your melanocytes, the cells that make melanin. And melanin acts like an umbrella. It's like a natural sunscreen. It's protection against the harmful radiation of UV light. So understanding that, it's important that you don't let yourself get completely burned, but you can just expose yourself to a certain amount of light, and so you get a tan and not get totally burnt. And maybe you gradually increase the dosage of sun, you can actually decrease the risk of that UV radiation. There are some real interesting studies, which I'll include down below, that shows that being out in the sun decrease your risk of getting certain types of cancer, especially prostate cancer. And the so-called credible research studies that shows that sun increases your risk of getting melanoma is very, very weak and a very poor association. So a certain amount of sun exposure can help you decrease the risk of cancer and a lot of other chronic health conditions.
Annotated and summarized, easy to share with loved ones. The description below the title for this video has these summary points. From the website doctorstotrust.com, you can view the summary notes and share or print the PDF of those notes.